assume that's what you wanted.
Yep, that's exactly
What it is.
Okay. And I've been busy and I apologize.
No worries.
I remembered it tonight and I thought, let me get it before.
Exactly, the document, I'm gonna take a physical copy of it, I emailed it out to everyone. But only a half hour, 35 minutes ago, so.
We're talking about the
That
lease?
piece, yeah.
I got it.
I meant to put a paper copy.
I have a paper copy.
Yes.
Do you want to make copies?
I will hear, it's up to you, right?
Do you want a copy of this lease agreement with Verizon?
I think she sent it.
She did, but you want to.
What's
What's up?
I didn't know if you wanted to discuss the details of that tonight, or if you had some time to digest that a little bit.
It would be ideal if we have time to discuss the
You
details.
want me to make copies, so.
If you could, you
Oh, sorry about that, Judy.
But good evening, everybody. It is 5 p.m. and we will open the county general meeting with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. And I believe we're gonna try to push Casey to the beginning of the meeting because she has other obligations to get to. So if you're ready, Casey.
Farmers market is Saturday. We have 11 vendors for the April market. I want to get her last name wrong, but Bob Hayes and Sheridan Tom are the new, liaisons for the farmers market. So the park board will be there to help them out on Saturday, but they'll be leading our first one. We submitted the hometown T-Mobile grant on the 31st, so we'll see if we hear about that for the crosswalk art. We heard back from Indiana DNR on the Indiana Trails Program grant. We did not get that. There were either 26 or 36, one of those numbers. Applicants, only 5 people got it. They just didn't have a lot of funds to give this year, so that'll be available again in 2 years. Edwin is looking at some other grants to see if what we've already kind of written and done can just be re-judged and submitted for another grant, because I'd like to see Baton Parks get that path completed at a minimum here sometime soon, because I think it would be a really nice feature. I think that's all I have.
Awesome. When's your next regular meeting?
We meet the third Wednesday of the month at 6.
Okay.
So,
That is that's the 15th.
Wonderful.
Yep.
We should probably get together sometime soon with everybody and start looking forward towards the past park
Yeah.
project and getting some numbers figured out.
Yep.
I don't know how soon that needs to happen, but it would be nice if we could all get together and have Ricky come and we can sit down and just put a lot of time to work through some stuff.
For sure. We did meet with Ricky, was it Monday? Right, last Monday? Not this one. Last week. We met last week and kind of rough timeline, some things together, but yeah, for sure, we can all have a chat.
Awesome.
And our meetings are public, so you guys, and they're posted that way, so anyone who wanted to come should be able to come.
so with the T-Mobile grant, what we're looking at is the photoluminescent paint on the Lincoln Street and the crosswalks. And we ordered some samples so that we could see, because one of the things got too much light, it doesn't light up.
Right.
So anyway, we got samples of that. So Ricky, we need to get with you and figure out the time when we could clean that up and a spot. We've only got quartz.
You have the spot. You have anywhere picked out?
We don't have anywhere to pick that yet, so it'd be like, okay, let's get it cleaned up and then we can get it.
Okay.
Prepared.
Thanks, Judy. And Mike, when you're thinking about doing a sample, were you thinking of like doing a couple parking spaces or just doing a few lines somewhere?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know how far do you think a court would go? I'm only asking because I was thinking to myself, like, what if we picked, like the handicap spots on the road at Murphy's or something like that.
I was
That might be
thinking-
one.
What I wanted, initially what I was thinking was that somewhere in the middle of Lincoln Street, because you got two security lights on each end,
Mhm.
and someplace in the middle where it's the darkest, and then maybe a
Okay.
spot closer to where the lights are,
Gotcha.
and then potentially one of the crosswalks.
But it'd be like a test sample up later, would just be
Clean it over.
picked up.
Okay,
Okay,
no, very awesome. I mean, probably.
gotcha.
Oh, and by the way, I put my task force notes and I didn't realize that they were on the back.
I saw that.
So you'll get those later.
Perfect. Do you have anything else for Casey?
The picnic tables,
Oh, yes, working on the picnic tables. Rotary has offered, they have a grant that they said they would help us get new picnic tables. After the task force meeting, Mike and Don Harris went and checked out the picnic tables. Don was like, I think we can take the tops off these frames and we could build wooden tops and attach them and repurpose them potentially. So I spoke to Bob Hayes. He said that, yes, that's very doable, and he thinks that he could probably get it all done for $500. He will just need help when it comes time to like attaching them and putting them on and moving them. Once they're built, they'll be too heavy for him to like carry out and shop
And
and stuff like
And I
that.
talked to Don, told him that Bob was interested, and I said, okay, you two connect and figure it out.
my only concern with that would be is carving into the top of the tables. Cause I mean,
Well, my only thought about it was when he's saying it's only gonna be $500, it seems like a nice fix for this summer.
no,
to
I mean,
get,
I
you know,
agree, and I'm not complaining about the price,
No.
it just is, I know it's gonna happen.
I'm sure they will. I can ask him, I mean, I'm sure they're gonna carve into it no matter what.
Correct.
He said that it would only take him a few hours to make them.
Okay, no, I mean, I'm good with the temporary fix or whatever, but
I agree too.
I'm just worried-
Center.
yeah, I'm just worried is I guarantee you it'll be within, it's gonna happen.
Oh.
within-
Absolutely, I would
So.
think, but when it's only that much, so that, I don't know if I want to ask for even for that $500 or if Park Board just wants to cover that, and then you can.
Cause I,
To look for like a long-term, better park, like, the price I got from Miracle, they want like $1,800 a table, which seems ridiculous. But I'm sure that's what they're going for, but like,
metal signs.
we paid X amount, we paid almost $1,000 for the ones that we broke.
Correct.
So I don't want to just
Do that.
keep spending, I'm sure the ones we buy. will be
And if
better.
you don't want that grant, let me know, because I talked with Jake Shufflebarger and he might be using that grant.
Yeah, I'm gonna message, my dad.
Because Jim has been asking me about
Yeah,
that.
and so does Bailey, and my dad just got to me today, so
Oh,
I'll
that's perfect.
let Bailey know that this is what we think the cost would be, and so she just finds someone who wants, I think it's more, they have more money than that, so.
Perfect. Sounds good. Rotary
Rotary
has a
has something.
grant for if you do benches, trees, or they did trees last year, they replaced the little park down there. Yep. So they have that every year. So he just asked if we had something and we were just trying to find something to use it on. So
Anything else?
that's it.
No? Good.
I'm good.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Casey.
All right, let's go, girl.
All right, we got minutes from March 11th. And I have an opportunity to review those minutes. So now,
I'll make a motion to approve.
Well, second.
motion from Chandler, second from Mike, all in favor? Aye. We've got our receipts for March. I was able to look at those, if everyone else was able to as well.
Yeah, I'll make a move that we accept Thursdays.
I'll second that.
First, and second from Mike, all in favor? Aye. Moving on to the claims.
I'll make a motion to approve claims as submitted.
Motion from Chandler, good on, can you look at those, Mike? And then we have our financial.
I'll move that we accept those.
We'll second that. Motion from Mike, second from Chandler, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Building commissioner, I don't have his notes in front of me. Do you have that, Judy, or is it on the file?
I was gonna say, I got it here.
All right. The attached updated spreadsheet for the Twins issue, there was 5 new permits since our last meeting, totaling $425. We issued 2 certificates of occupancy. 310 Rose Street, that was a new build. The other one was for 112 West Allen Street, that was a full remodel. Matt said that the home is very nice and will be going on the market next month. If you have any questions from that, you can shoot me an email or catch me next time. I would have anything to do with it. And then fire chief.
So with the building commissioner though, we are gonna meet, have the ordinance meeting and cover the, some of the other properties.
Yes,
Okay,
it's my understanding.
and that's gonna be at what, 3:00?
Yes. And the fire chief report, there were 9 fire calls, 3 of which were mutual aid. There were 25 medical runs, 1 business meeting, 2 trainings, and 3 cleaning days. They did a spring cleaning, all the trucks, all the floors, apparatus bays. Matt notes that the new brush trucks are in service. I want to thank the town board, the trustee, for all the support to get those trucks done. Schedule a day in the future, get some photos with everybody and the trucks together. He'll send out some details of that when we can figure out a date and make it happen in the near future. So the trucks are very nice in the firehouse. So those look very nice. They're good. I get paid anyway. That was it. And do you have any fire department? I do. Got back to Judy. Town manager.
All the playground equipment's been delivered, if you didn't know. While unloading that, we had 1 injury to one of our part-time employees. He actually broke his finger and had to get surgery just the other day. So he's going through with Judy with workers' comp and everything. So we're dealing with that. He's actually going to be one of our part-time.
Hope he gets that finger.
Hope he gets back here pretty soon. So we're dealing with that. Mowing crew started Monday, so everything should be mowed as of, it sounds like. I have quotes on here from the 3rd Street parking and stuff. We're going to do that in old business or address that now. Last month when I wasn't here.
I'm good with addressing Alex.
Okay, the 2 quotes, I don't know if you guys have those still or need those. From Atlas, I believe I have them with me. Atlas and from Yoder Hall. The Atlas quote came in at $40,901. And Hall and Yoder were $20,962. The question was asked me, why is the big price difference? I honestly don't have an answer other than Atlas is a big company from Lafayette, so I talked to JR, and he said he's aware that if he does dig it out and compaction and everything, he knows where he has to do that. I only have 1 from JR, I'm sorry. I only have brought Atlas with me.
That's
I can
fine.
afford it. Oh, I'm not gonna help you guys.
Not right now,
How
but
about that?
that looks a little better.
I can print off the Atlas one. Pretty good. You say I sent it out to you guys before the meeting, so.
Right, and you have confidence in Yoder?
Oh, yeah. And if something doesn't look right, I know they'll come back and make it right. He's done a few other projects with us.
in the past.
Okay.
As long as the compaction's there, I'm good. I just don't want us to put $80,000 worth of asphalt on top and we've got a soft spot in the asphalt.
He
and
said
then
to
have
make sure it's
grind
all
it back up.
compacted and get compacted right. He said
As
he
long
takes
as
out the
it's-
right amount the first time, it shouldn't be soft, but he'll check for that before.
Well, and we need to look back and kind of confirm specs. I mean, I'm good with this, but I'm pretty sure there has to be gravel put back in.
Yeah, I sent all the specs back to JR. He has the
Okay.
blueprint.
Because I mean, I think if there's excavated out, if there's not gravel, gravel has to be over excavated and then gravel
And
put back in.
yes, that is correct.
So he sounds like he's clear with the scope. and all
Yeah,
that.
and his rate, I
that.
think personally, a little low in the middle. He's gonna check the elevation. If that has to be adjusted, he might have to add 1,000 or 2 to adjust the drain from when Roger did it. It just seems awful low to me, but I could be wrong.
So, and we're good funding there. That's been a long time going. So
And I'm hoping now that, I'll jump ahead a little bit, community crossing was approved as of yesterday. So we'll be able to pave, so I'm hoping town and country can pave that one in town. We've been waiting a couple of years now to get paved, hopefully we do it all at once.
Yep.
That's
And where's community crossings gonna pay? Just that?
No, they're gonna do part of, I think it was Third Street, West Carroll, and then we're doing downtown with Liquid Road and restriping all downtown. So downtown will look all new down there. In front of Murphy's post office and then 2 blocks of Third Street from 24 to Belmont.
We can have a discussion on those 2 quotes for that project.
As long as it's met in compaction, I'm good.
And I agree too, and as long as they know the scope and. Yeah, so if that's the case, make the motion, all right?
Really, yes.
I'll make a motion.
To accept the other drainage. To do the excavation as long as compaction is met.
I've got a motion from Chandler, second from Mike, all in favor? Is there a,
You need to sign.
No.
do we have any other check or anything? Or is that something that we handle now?
We can, go ahead.
I could get hold of our airport engineers and they could tell us what the compaction needs to be for a street or drive. And we need to put numbers on it, we need to have text, actual tests, and that's what they discussed on the runways. And so there's,
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, Jim, I think the compaction's so much per square inch. And that there's a machine that does it, as long as, I mean, I can tell when it's done, if it's, I mean, as long as my biggest concern is with low prices, they'll come in, they'll excavate it out, then we're left with dirt, and they're like, well, it's been compacted for years. Well, that shifts and moves, we have to have, there needs to be 4 to 6 inches of gravel, so I'm worried is if they dig it all out, there's no gravel left, and we're putting it on that, and then we create a sinkhole with the water, and then we have a brand new thing, and we're patching into it and everywhere else.
the usage of the street,
Parking lot.
Parking lot.
parking lot.
Yeah.
I'll contact our engineer to find out what the usage is.
Yeah, it's so much per square inch, I could find it.
We can take measurements and we've got.
Then we're good to go.
Awesome. What else you have, Ricky?
I got a bunch of stuff. Let's see.
We don't do that.
The planning study we've been working on with Ken Smith, all the field work has been completed. He's hoping to have the final report to us in about 2 weeks. That'll be the smoke testing that was done a couple weeks ago, as well as the hydrant flow testing. And so he did some water sample testing downtown, all around town to test for different bacteria and stuff. He's also gonna have the maps with the water main valves, all that good stuff to us. That might be a little bit longer, it takes a little more time to draw out. The week of May 11th, I have the boom mower and tractor for the ditches to be mowed. They're bringing that up here that week, so it was all looking good right before alumni and the summer really kicks off with the pool, so. Townwide cleanup. I know we mentioned it, we kind of run around it. Is that something we want to do this year? It's where we got 3 dumpsters.
I mean,
Advertised it and we got people to show up.
do you feel like doing a bulk pickup day once a month? Or do we say, hey, let's take a day or maybe 2 months and move to something, maybe we say June, July, and we don't add the fees if they have a lot? Or is that something that might end up being way too much for you?
Have we added a fee to anyone on bulk pickup?
No.
I think it's like it was.
And I think we give them 1 a month, and so usually it's not too much.
My personal opinion, no sense of taking up your guys' Saturday, and I know it's hard playing with stuff, is if we're giving you offers to take it to the curb and load it in your truck and take it to accepting like paint and stuff like that,
Right.
anything out of the ordinary,
Right.
so I feel like it's covered.
Yeah.
I know 2 years prior we did it, it was real slow, but the year before that was busy, so it just, it seems like, so
I agree that if we're doing this
Isn't that
bulk
bulk
pickups,
picked up this one?
the third Monday of every month.
then we need to make sure we're out there ahead of time, but I would agree with all that you do. I feel
That was fine, though, we just wanted to double check. we started doing some mulch around all the trees at Cass Park. The dirt and weeds were growing there, it's kind of didn't work out well, especially when we're gonna put new playground and pavilion. We're gonna start working on that, getting it spruced up a little. And then we're gonna do some landscape, river rock around the light post and everything, to beautify that. And we'll carry that over to Baton and Wonder Park, get it all looking the same. The Cass Park bathrooms open next Wednesday, April 15th. And we've went around this, the well rehab quotes. We received one from Ortman a while back. And I received another one from Peerless. The difference was, I would say, $500. Here's the Ortman quote for you.
Are you opening Baton?
They're open.
They're open.
You open those a week or two ago.
Okay.
And then here's our quotes from Peerless.
Doing the same thing, correct?
Yeah. Pull on disinfecting, clean, inspecting.
And Ortman's who we.
Been using.
Yeah, that's what they've used the last 20 plus years. See, one was 18,844. That was Peerless. Ortman was 19,900. So maybe closer to 1,000.
Yes, that one looks good. Is there any reason not to accept the Peerless bid?
No, other than just changing the company.
Other than the fact we've
used Ortman's probably for 20 or 30 years.
That's the only reason we went with Ortman to begin with. You can have Peerless. I think they're both more capable. They're both companies. I don't know if they're good on users. I think they use Peerless, but I'd be comfortable with either company. You guys decide, and so does Rick.
Who do you use, Jim? Do you know?
We can use Peerless.
That's right.
We have used Ortman too, but I think this was Peerless.
My opinion is they're not too far off. I mean, if it was several $1,000s, at least, I mean, if we use one company, I'm good to stay with it, or we can change whatever you guys can.
I agree with that too. We've used Ortman for a long time. They've been good with us.
And they're used to dealing with Rick and everything, yeah. I mean, we're kind of just price checking them is what I kind of felt like we were.
Yeah.
So, which is good to do.
Good either way. I just want to make sure there wasn't any reason not to have
One of the, you know, I think they're both.
competent.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and make a motion to accept Ortman's if you guys are good with that.
Yeah.
For the little higher price, but Rick's used to working with them and everything else.
Ricky, what about the sewer in the Patton Park bathroom?
It should be in the bathroom.
Yeah, the
Pavilion.
Oh, the pavilion?
Yeah.
Yeah, it blew out. Other than that, we haven't got any further with it yet, so.
So what do we need to do there?
We can try to put it back up, but I think we're gonna encounter the same problem. Try to find some type of different material or something like that for the ceiling itself.
Okay. So,
What does the board want me to price, like metal? I mean, what does the board want to see with it?
Can you get a hold of Harris maybe and see what they would have?
Some kind of metal or something?
Do we want white metal?
I don't know. What do you think?
Do we want white ribbed metal up there? I mean, I'm good with it.
Yes, I think so.
The other stuff's
That's why
coming.
when you guys decide before I would make some decisions.
I would get with Harris to see what they can do for us.
Yep.
Okay.
But before we go too far off that, we have a motion and a second to approve Ortman for well three rehab. Is all in favor? Aye.
The engineer said 95%, and I asked him if he could specify that to a contractor and require proof prior to paving. He said, yes, it's very common.
Correct. Yeah. Did he say what per square inch? How much?
No, he just said 95%.
Okay, I got this other quote from JR, I skipped over on accident. This is to tear the light shed down out back. It came in at 6,500 versus fixing it up was about 14,000, I believe.
and that includes getting rid of all the junk.
Removal, yep. Good? Like it?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to accept, demoing the shed behind the town hall.
I'll second that.
All
All day right.
right.
So does that mean we're gonna get off the ordinance list for our own building? That was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, ready to go.
Then I have one other one after that.
Yeah, right?
The big one.
And the ordinance for truck signs, I know Jamie's been asking for those being put up. Are we put those on the south side of 24? At First Street, Second, et cetera, is that where they need to be placed?
What's the ordinance? I'm sorry, I'm off.
It's so when the train's blocking, it doesn't cut through town and tear up the roads. I don't know all the language of it.
Yeah. Have we passed that, Becky?
Oh, we talked about this a long time ago.
I don't know.
I can't remember. We talked about it and we looked over it and I thought we were good with it. But I don't know if it's been put into effect if we're waiting for the book.
Because we had some semis go through and actually tore up part of our new road on Water Street.
Were we?
So I asked Jamie about it and he said there's no signs, so we're trying to.
So even not knowing if we have that up yet, right? If the ordinance isn't in place and the signs of suggestion, it's still probably gonna prohibit some of those trucks from going that way.
Probably.
Do we have those signs?
I got to order, and that's what I'm asking, if we need to do on the north side of 24 too, or we're just focusing on the south side, because that's the issue.
I hate to order signs if they're not needed.
Yeah, I mean, I think the main issue is when the train blocks 41 and then you get I was there when it happened and we had probably 30 semis that went down Railroad Street and
Oh, yeah.
busted the road and ran through the thing.
I didn't know
And
about sign, do we want to do one right at the, I didn't know we put one on 350, Fairgrounds Road, that's the county road.
Well, do we need to get with, as, and not with it, either approved or the signs right off of their easement for any 41, 44? So I always, those stop signs, if one got hit right up there, that would.
But we put it a little further back, like closer to the track on it, I don't know.
Well, one of the major concerns is you got anybody going down Owen Street over that little bridge, they could wind up in the.
Ditch.
Right, and there should be no issue with us putting one right there on Kent Street,
Right,
by the way.
I didn't know if we want to.
then if you put like no trucks, do you have to put weight limits?
Right? I mean, it's-
I don't know the legal, I'm just asking because I mean, what's legally, what's semi?
Semi-traffic?
It would just say no, the one of.
Because usually you say limit of such and such can't be on.
No trucks or local delivery only, or something similar to those words, but.
The ordinance applies to semi-trailers with a gross vehicle weight in excess of 10,000 pounds.
But basically, that's a pickup truck and less.
Because that's like me.
Right,
Mine don't
yeah, I know.
That's mine's 26,000.
Well, it does say semi-trailer.
Oh, semi-trailers.
And then it also talks about, overseas containers, solid waste containers, and boxes commonly affixed to straight bed trucks for having cargo or common.
Not an issue. Does that, so is that in effect or is that proposed ordinance?
I never have the signed copies of ordinances, so I don't know the answer to that question offhand, but this draft of it was dated February of 2025. And it has, the signature ones for, Mike Rowe and Bruce. I can go back through, my notes from previous meetings.
I don't want to label that.
What's the date?
Because we just talked about it, right? Didn't he bring that up?
See, I don't think it's a,
Because he just brought us a copy this year, right?
yeah.
Like within 2 or 3 months ago to look over. Okay, so we need to get an updated copy on that before we do it.
Table.
Yep.
It was a good table.
Yeah,
We'll
I
find and
just
send it
wanted
over to you,
bring
Becky, will that work?
The road
And
did
see what you
damage,
think
I just
about
want to try to.
Do you have any no truck signs?
So my notes from the 2/19/25 meeting say commercial vehicle ordinance update.
Okay, perfect. Can you tell us what that says? You probably don't have that, do you, Becky?
Of the ordinance?
The commercial vehicle one?
Yep, I have an unsigned copy of it right here in
That's
my documents, I can email it out.
Perfect, that would be great, thank you.
So now we just need to figure out what we want these signs to say.
We need to table and you guys think about it and bring it up next.
Yeah, let's, if Jamie's the one that's gonna have to enforce stuff,
I feel like we should say no semi-tractor.
yeah, I
I
think,
feel like we're pretty broad in the semi-trucks. And while it might fall into the scope of that ordinance, I can't imagine we're out there looking for, we don't want trucks that are gonna put our roads that cause damage and making turns, but. You know, people like that.
Yeah. So I guess everyone kind of think where we think the signs need to go. And then we'll
Yeah.
table it till next week.
Well, there's only one ordinance. It's fine.
Perfect.
At least you gotta think about it, so.
Yeah,
Yep.
wheels turning.
Last but not least, maybe you have it on your notes, pool opening date, do we have anything in mind?
When did we open it last year?
I think we had one a little bit late than we had this year, but usually Memorial Day weekend, is usually when we do that. I think we're a week delayed, I think we did it first week of June last year.
When did the kids get up?
He just told us what she said, June, the 28th.
Because that's always our hiccup, right? Because kids are lifeguards, right?
Which is why we guys close it, all of us when kids go back to school.
Yeah, because we don't have any workers. So what date are you?
I was gonna say, so we open it
What's that? Monday?
to Saturday. 2 days after they're out.
We have enough, how's our lifeguards doing? Are we gonna have enough lifeguards ready by then? Or?
Yeah, we'll get that here in a second.
No.
What,
When the kids in Florida,
it's the 25th. It's Memorial Day.
we want to open up weekend. That's usually what we guys try to do.
But if we have no guards,
I mean, we only be open Saturday, Sunday.
if they're ready to go.
Yeah, I'm just saying, that's like for the weekend.
So open the weekend, close that week, and then reopen after school's up.
We start paper chemicals, so.
I say just shoot for the 30th, so we don't have to worry about the chemicals and temperature.
I agree. Well, and then you should probably have it going before that date anyways, right?
Yes,
Have it filled and ready to go a week or two prior.
yes, that's the plan, yes. That's why I want to get a date down so we can put it on the schedule.
You guys like the 30th? You want to try to do the
Perfect.
Memorial thing? So Chair was like,
Well, how busy is it usually on Memorial Day?
Kind of depends on the weather.
It does.
I mean,
It does.
it's kind of a hit and miss deal.
The problem you have there, which I've experienced throughout the years, is that either the weather's not good enough or families are already doing things.
Yeah,
So while they
that's
might
a big
have
issue.
people come, it seems to, it's a good dry run for the.
And we don't have to advertise it right away. I mean, I guess we can kind of
Yeah.
make sense, see how the weather goes. I mean, if we're having 80, 90 day or, real high
Right.
weather, maybe we decide to open it then and you'll have a better feel for how guards are doing and what the scheduling and.
I'll
So-
have an idea between those two dates.
Those two
I can
dates.
get, I send a schedule for my guys to get up there and get it going.
Awesome.
We'll start on the first week of May probably, and get it. If it takes a little longer, we'll
Right, so we're looking at May 30th.
Or the 20th.
And we'll wait till it gets a little closer.
Okay.
Nathan wanted to talk about that, what that should like say. We stay the prices that we had last year.
What are our prices? Is it 4 and 6?
Yeah.
I've never been to the pool, so I'm just guessing that.
This would be a great May general meeting topic, probably, huh?
Somebody get it.
Okay,
Because we raised them, what, 3 years ago or so. I think we raised them $1 or something.
so if that's, I'm just throwing that out
Yeah.
there.
Well, with the,
Because we have people asking right now
right,
about pricing, and we have people when you can do.
I just told them we'll address it at the next meeting and then we'll throw it on the agenda.
Can you get us the cost for the pool rental and don't we rent cabanas?
And then Ricky,
Conservative.
Service, yeah.
chemical costs.
Okay.
What about a relative?
We ordered them early this year, and luckily, since we got that leak fixed, we had a bunch left over from the year before, at the end, we ordered the second time. So I don't know what the actual cost is right off the top of my head.
So I guess my question is our expenses for running the pool gonna go
We pay a lot in electricity up there, right around that big pump.
Yeah, sure.
Compared to last year, is that what you're asking?
Yep, still.
I honestly don't have any sure. I'd have to get some numbers and tell you. Like I said, we're using stuff left over from last year, so I don't know the price on top of it.
up? Okay, if you would gather that up.
Yep, I can work
We
everything
take a
numbers.
look at it, because, you know, the thing is, it's fine not to increase, but if our costs are going up.
Right.
You gotta have to.
I know,
I don't wanna get behind, and then 2 years from now, all of a sudden, you got this
Raising
leak,
$4,
and then
yeah.
people string us up.
I know when we had that big leak, and we couldn't get it fixed by the end of the year, we were averaging about, chemical costs alone, about 200, 300 a day.
It wasn't like 30,000 when we went to buy it.
Yeah. So it went down drastically last year, and we got that fixed.
Right.
So I can get some numbers.
Thank you.
Anything else?
I'm fine.
So that smoke testing is complete?
Yes.
Is there any idea, was there a lot of
I know
residences
from,
that-
I know 2 people have called dispatch, Casey General Ford, one of them, and so is the barber shop, Martin's Barber Shop down 24.
Okay.
The downtown area, the smoke is pretty thick coming out of the gutters. They said there were several, you could see through the foundation vents and stuff coming out, but I'll have all those detailed and put down for us.
Okay.
But yes, it sounded like there was several.
Awesome. Okay, police chief, I don't remember seeing an email.
He left something on the table. He called me earlier about something.
You've got finger, I
Sorry, dude, I have to look at the things you put in front of
you
me.
don't have it. I've got it.
I just presume it's the stuff you don't, you know.
Oh,
I got it here.
you have it.
Awesome, all right. There were 53 calls for service in the month of March. So we'll be contacting the social media department to see if they can make a post about golf cart registration on Saturday at the community center. As I said, what Saturday? Also, I'm going to ask them to republish the ordinance in regards to golf carts. The spare Tahoe is back in service. I'll be taking the 2019 Tahoe to be detailed so that we can put it out for bids. Finally been able to speak with a representative from Lux Pool and we begin to get the SOP manuals finished. If you have any questions, please reach out. We'll attach all of it.
So my one question there is that can we have a report on how many of these golf carts have been stickered?
I would assume you can get that from town hall. So
Do you guys keep record?
Okay.
we should have record.
And then, on the SOP, are you comfortable with that?
I asked him the percentage the last time where he was, and I wrote down what he told me. So what my intentions are is to continue to follow up. This is not here, but I want to see what percentage we're at, right? And see what we're doing, why they're not doing it.
Okay.
But I know you did mention having been locked out or something. So how do you get back with them to get access back into the program?
And that was done, I believe.
That's it.
I have a couple of things for that. We have never received anything from the individual that opens the door.
How do you do that?
I've
So-
inquired about that, so I don't know if I need to file something
Well,
with the prosecutor.
You don't need to do anything, and this is a great question for the legal counsel, right? But I'm going to assume, since there was a police report and it was handled internal, I guess the question is if they're not following through, can he then forward that report to the prosecuting attorney's office for juvenile probation and potentially get restitution?
Depending on how long it's been, there's such limitations. And I don't think this is something that I've been aware of, so you have to take it.
It's like criminal mischief case or something like So maybe either way, we ask him to forward that report to the prosecuting attorney's office, and then that office can review it and let us know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it'll need to go through the probation, I believe, if the person is using.
Okay, so he needs to file.
We'll send him
Okay. Second thing, this we had a resident that was shut off. They turned their water back on. We had locked it, shut it off again. They had cut the meter, or cut that lock, damaged the meter. So Rick took pictures. I guess I need to know because I said I wanted charges like,
Well, I would assume that when that stuff happens, whether that's falling under your purview or Ricky's as the town manager, someone needs to request a police report.
It was requested.
I had conversations with the town marshal around that, and it was my understanding that a report is in the process of being completed, or maybe not, but it would be submitted to the prosecutor's office too.
Awesome.
Is there a timeline on that?
It's gonna be kind of a general thing. You've gotten a report, you've gotten a call, whatever. 5 days is the typical get your stuff come in, so. I don't know what time you guys spoke with him, but
Thursday.
We have a sign lease from that is doing basic airplane here and do air imaging. And they'll have them hire pilots to take that thing and fly it to wherever they're doing their imaging. They're going to want, well, I asked Morgan to send them an invoice with him, and I don't know if that's been paid or not. You happen to know?
I don't know anything about this.
Well, I caught you cold. So anyway, they're going to want hardwired or fiber internet. They don't want to deal with beaming like what we're on, like what we have now. And they're willing to pay to get whatever it takes to get the internet out to the airport. So I think, Mike, you were working with Vicky on getting either you or
And really give it us, because we have rights to be out there and want it. So this company's willing to pay whoever we get.
Yeah, and then we'll rent them a little spot in the office out there to put their computer and download their pictures after they, take their pictures. That's why it has to be a fast internet, because it's uploading all these pictures. Okay.
Can we get fiber there?
I don't know what.
I know the surf project did not cover that. It didn't go that
Yeah.
far.
Yeah,
I don't know if surf will come down for one line. I don't know if
How
Mediacom would, but it'd be pricey probably.
See,
Brightspeed may be able to
I'm
do
wondering
aerial.
about Starlink. But that would be pricey.
That's not hardwired. They want.
Yeah, they want hardwired probably. Check with Brightspeed, I see if they have fiber out there. If not, then they'll probably have to be constructed. How soon are they doing this?
They rented the hangar, so I expect the airplane to show up anytime in April.
So basically, whoever has fiber there is who you're probably gonna go with.
Mediacom might be able to do it too. I don't know between the two. No, I don't know what surf down here for just that. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
probably. Because they're not even on the other side of, they didn't do Red Rover, right?
no, it was all
Oh,
residential.
the other side of the board. Can I ask the name of the company?
Ag Air Imaging. So should I talk to MediaCom or?
We can take care of it.
Okay.
Who do you have
I'll
now?
call them.
Brightspeed?
Yeah, I'll call them first.
Yeah, it's beamed to a little ditch on the side of the building.
Oh, you have vertical.
Oh, yeah. I thought you said you had bugs.
I think they got, I think they have fronts,
Or is the foam bright speed?
while the phone
We
is.
have a little ditch on the side of the building.
Probably vertical.
Sure. I don't know.
I don't know. I just assumed it was front speed.
I think it's, I could be wrong, I think it's the little ditch.
Probably vertical. Check with bright speed, see if they're out there. Because vertical, they don't have anything vertical. I think they're all aerial on everything.
Yeah, no verticals.
All of them, yeah. So,
We created another hangar spot where Ricky pulled that old office out of hangar two, the old folks building, and rented it, populated it. We have a cardiologist that's located in an airplane here, so I'm kind of, you don't own the airplane yet, we'll be buying it very soon. I'm kind of doubled up and stuck it in our hangar, and because the guy on the end, Giuseppe, haven't had an airplane here all year, but they paid for a year in advance on the hangar, because it hasn't been an airplane here. Which is kind of nice, they paid a year in advance, but we need active airplanes there to buy fuel and increase, revenue, land costs and so on and so forth. So I don't intend to renew Giuseppe's lease, and I'll get that cardiologist on, double rented my hangar, I'm renting it, I'm gonna rent the cardiologist too, as soon as we get this airplane, and then in July, at the end of July, as soon as Giuseppe's lease is up, then I'll move in now. And, I'll do that. We're going to, we're trying to coordinate everything to have a Rotary pancake breakfast on the 30th of May, and also have the Young Eagles group, that they come up from Lafayette and remember that chapter, because remember we said we were gonna fly the Army kids? Well, by doing this, we can fly like 25 kids. So instead of just 3, so we'll get back with the archery kids and have them get some names and try to do it. We have a challenge and we have an opportunity. The opportunity is the state has come out with a pavement maintenance grant program. Typically, we do about $4,000 to $5,000 a year in crack sealing for all the asphalt areas. And we can, this NDOT's grant program is a 25% local match. So what we're going to try to do, if funding is available, is to apply to that and get not only all the crack sealing done, instead of just $4,000 or $5,000 chunk, try to get it all done, plus all of our asphalt resealed and restriped. So we'll extend the life on our asphalt a lot. And I'm hoping that, you know, as I'm just wildly guessing at this point, the engineers are doing measurements. And I'm hoping that the $4,000 or $5,000 that we normally would spend for crack sealing, that would be the local match, and instead we can get maybe $25,000 worth of asphalt work done, if done and go. But we also have the challenge part, we also have a roof on hangar 3 that holds it down there, it's really old, we've got some sagging, real soft, pillars or whatever they're called on top. So that roof needs to be replaced, that's gonna be around $25,000. Yeah, if funding is available, we need to do that, so.
And what do you say if funds is available? Is that more funding outside of the budget that you typically have?
Yeah, well, a combination of any maintenance money we have in the budget and anything outside of
And is that something that the roof issue, is that something that you're like, okay, this is where we are and it needs a total replacement, or has someone come out and look?
Yeah, I've had a couple people look at it, and it's just, you know, it's old.
is it metal?
Yeah, it's metal and holes have gotten in it. It's got a couple of skylights that we don't need, and we won't put them back, and big holes have opened up in those. And, so we put kind of a Band-Aid on there for the time being to try to keep the water out. A lot of the nails have popped, and then where water is leaked through the popped nails, and then got on the 2x4s underneath, the rear rest, I needed to get up there, so we're gonna have to assist with some some wood on the side of those permanent back up. That's the thing. Hey,
I assume that hangar is empty.
no, it's full. It's got Tom Suter's in one end of it, with the section 182, and then Bill Ford's in the other end of it, with a couple of, something else.
How big's the building roughly?
Is that the one right across from your, from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about in the,
Do you know rough measurements in there?
I think it's 30,000 square feet.
You don't know anything.
It's probably about, the door, I think the door is close to 40 feet. And I think it's pretty much a square door, which is probably, might be 48 by 48, something like that.
Do you know how much outside of your regular budget that you would be needing to make that happen?
And, off the top of my head.
Is it something that you think we need to address this meeting, or to look at and know that it's going to be coming down the line for the next?
I think probably just know it's in their line. I mean, we've gotten along this side. The road's not going to end, so we don't put a roof on that.
Right. Also, we have people in there running with like some expensive
There is that.
and plans that we definitely have an issue.
Yeah, we don't want to go on too long, but it's not, I'm not saying we're going to move it too bad.
Okay. So maybe we can start looking at that budget and get with Judy and try to figure out what you have and what we're able to do. And I apologize if I missed this. Did you say you have that was a quote that you're at half for 25, or that's what you're estimating?
No, I have two quotes. The last one just come in today. It was for like 25,040 or something. And I don't remember what the other one.
Okay.
And then the other thing, just an FYI, since this Iran thing started, our fuel has gone up. Our wholesale price has gone up $1.45. So put our fuel price at $5.73 a gallon. And so you can imagine we're not selling a whole lot of fuel. I mean, nobody's doing anything, so we kind of need to get this over. So we'll try to call it, nothing off.
And then with the paving grant, do you have an idea of, so your hope, the hope is that it's been $4,000 or $5,000. Do you have an idea of range that could be?
We're working on that. That was my rough idea. We're working on that. We have to, mid-year provide measurements, and so we know how many square feet we're talking about. It's a kind of a peculiar grant. It's not a competitive grant. It's a first come, first served grant. As
So
soon
it'll
as,
be in there.
yeah, as soon as the state says, okay, we're ready to go, we're open for business, get in there and they get funded. But one thing we have been cautioned against is make sure we have our local match lined up. Because the last thing we want to do is get the grant and say, oh, gee, I'm
I
sorry.
mean, I can imagine if we need help with a few $1,000 and that's.
No, I'm,
more
yeah,
than an issue, right?
25, we can get, yeah, 75 paid for it.
Right.
And if you're thinking like 5, 10, as long as it's not like 50 to 75,000, you know, I mean, there's a lot of difference there.
I'm not saying that. There was a time when I thought we would try to get the runway remarked too, which is a real pricey thing. You wouldn't think so, but it is. It's a technical thing. But we have that in our capital improvement plan. It's out in like year 4 or 5. But if we wait and do that, with that money, we get 95% of that thing.
It's perfect.
Yes, we don't have to look at 5%, but we can't get this maintenance thing done that the NDOT has come up with now, so we can't do that. So I'm saying we will push the runway remarking back and work on our asphalt for right now.
Sounds good. Yeah. I'd say pursue it.
Thank you.
Anything else, Jim?
Oh, the airport was mowed today, it looks fantastic.
Good deal.
I think we might need to get, we probably have some budget to get some pontoons for our mowers, for just,
Hold on a second, someone been stuck out there?
Someone like that.
I've been stuck out there. I've been stuck a few times talking. I think the guys got tired of me calling me, come in the truck to pull me out.
They shut their phone off on them.
Okay. task force?
Okay, we had a task force meeting on April 1st, and the highlights are we have two new members of the task force. Don Harris, who's, lifelong resident, and his skill set, which is really going to be handy, is, he does carpentry work and that sort of thing, and that's really helpful there. And then Joe Seacrest, who just moved to Kentland, young guy with a family. He's at the Powell State Bank and excited about being on the board. On the downside, with the social media, I got our resignation from Bailey Desmond, who is going to end her duty as doing the social media, so we need to find somebody to post it.
Was Joe still?
Joe's still involved in this, yeah, but we need somebody locally that can keep the postings.
Okay.
So if you have any suggestions on that, please let me know.
Do you know, Mike, aside from Bailey, who else has access to the town's Facebook account? The one time before we had a social media person, the police chief had access, town manager, and I had
Prior to
access.
me, maybe, but
Does anybody else have access? No. I would say
Not
maybe,
that I'm aware of.
I would say maybe we ask Bailey to add maybe one of us, and
I think you have access, don't you?
I used to, I don't know if I still do it.
Okay, so we need to ask for.
right,
And I mean, my kind of thought on that is that's a lot of, from being around Bailey when she's doing, I mean, she just says she has to do this, it's a lot of feeding information and posting.
Right.
So I didn't know with Morgan being up here and being able to answer, because you do get messages,
Right.
and people are messaging him, and if you get all those messages, it's hard to follow all those messages.
Right.
So I don't know if Morgan would be able to step in and, like say someone, a lot of it is like, there's an Easter egg hunt, can you post about this? There's this, can you post about this?
we should probably just make sure we have at least two of our full-time employees added as an admin.
Which is fine,
In
yes.
the interim, and then even afterwards, that way, if something comes up last minute, we're like, oh
Sure.
shoot, we need to post this.
Yep.
And it'd be probably nice for the police chief to have access as well, I mean, he has his own page, but
Correct. But yeah, I'm saying for fill-in right now is I think if Morgan has some time throughout the day, I don't know how she is through that,
She's got
that would kind of be my suggestion. I mean, we can go with someone, if we want to pursue that option later on, but for fill-in right now is if she would kind of want to funnel that.
Right, and that's really the part that I would suggest that we're looking for is someone who gathers stuff outside what we can.
Yep, correct.
Yeah, then it's like.
Correct.
So-
Which, and I think eventually we're gonna have to find something like that, but
Exactly.
for immediate,
so for now, maybe we should restore access to Ricky and make sure Morgan gets access.
Okay, and then, just as a report from Newton County Economic Development, the board is working on a program where, local businesses can apply for some of the billboards on 41 and other signs that we have in the county to promote in-town businesses. The one issue that would advise is that in order to change that sign, it's about $550. But you got to do that about every 6 months, and I'm hoping that we can get that included in part of the package. So that, the economic development handles that. The other is that the county is also working on spending some dough on their social media, which you will tap into. Then the last part is that that's a 3-member board that was comprised of myself, Carl Ramsey, and then there was, as of the first of the year, there was an empty spot there, and that has been filled by Matt Wilson. So that would be the board there. And then we also discussed, and I tried to elicit ideas about the 250-year anniversary for the town, or for the, since 1776. And I haven't got any responses on that yet. And then if everybody's not up to date on that, we've got a really nice update on the child care. South Newton is going to take that up to 20 kids, and they've already got about 15 kids signed up for that little program. There are some details there, and then finally we just I gave the task force the update on the bridges, the widening bridges. So that's what I've got from the task force.
Awesome. Any questions for Mike? No. All right. Attorney.
I emailed you guys earlier today with a lease with some comments, quite a few comments actually. So I don't know if you guys want to go through all of that now, or if you want to review these first. I think there's a printed copy right there for you, because when I say that I send it out, what I mean actually is that I send it out just a very short time before the meeting. So I got that in the time last year to review it, at least not with any.
I would suggest we table that for now, because I looked at it when I got it, and I would have several questions that I'm not really ready to discuss yet.
Is this something-
I'm not sure what I'm gonna ask.
Yeah, because this is something we can bring back up at the ordinance meeting.
Yep.
Yeah, and certainly if anybody has any questions that can be answered by email or anything in the interim, I'm happy to do that as well. Whatever works best to try to get this done as efficiently as possible.
Awesome. Thank you.
I think that might be the only thing that I have for you right now. Unless I'm forgetting something, which is very possible.
I have an off-the-wall question for you, sorry, try to do that, and then also go include you guys. So what my brain thinking about this is, we were talking earlier about, a police report with, the youth services, right? And whether those are being done and whatnot, and that's always been a question, we're in the process of them doing the SOP program. Is there an issue with the council agreeing on and making a directive to complete those in the timeframe?
No, that's not happening.
If anybody would be interested in making a motion, so initially make motions.
I'm doing the president. You can-
So I would entertain if anyone would like to make a motion, that would just put out a directive to our law enforcement for the interim until the SOP is complete, where that, reports need to be complete within 5 days, to include narratives, attachments, documents, et cetera. This is the standard we give a law enforcement agency in this county.
Does that include, when you said that, like, if somebody has an accident, an accident report or something like that? Yeah, I would entertain a motion that law enforcement submit those reports within 5 days.
So you make that motion, I'll second the second. The motion from Mike and second from Chandler, all in favor? Aye. And, this is an issue with that, I'll just type it up, send it in an email. CC. And clerk,
So wait a minute,
I'm sorry.
do we have a revised timeline, or do we have a time to meet with Dennis on a revised timeline for the redevelopment?
We do not at this point, I know there was some correspondence that went back and forth with him about that. I know that he sent out an email on March 18th. With a timeline on there, and indicated that he needed the meeting date schedules. So I don't know, did anybody ever respond to him on that with that information?
I don't think that was going.
I will work on getting those dates. And also he was asking for a schedule of the parcels to be added and if there's a map showing.
further parcels being added to the kit.
Did we provide him with the parcel ID numbers? No, that's what we did. I thought we did too. And I'll make a note too to look back and maybe shoot him that too, because I thought we did that.
Yeah, I thought so.
And if there's something more
We did that
specific
right
we
after
want,
that meeting.
Yeah, I'll shoot it in there. I'm almost positive that we, and if you can follow up with the dates or maybe we can figure out and get him everything he needs. But I just recall in the past we gave him postal numbers, and if he wants a map, I guess the question is, does our county GIS, is he looking for a screenshot? Or is he looking for some of the?
I think it was last time we did it, I mean, literally anything.
Okay.
I mean, something that basically had them thing and then showed like highlighted areas. I think it was on a piece of paper actually, and then we highlighted it, so.
And then my last question is, going to the, county for, a loan. I think we already approved that was okay. I want to make sure that if I go to the county commissioners and ask for loan for the town for the, purchase of land, 40 acres of land.
I'm okay with that as long as Judy is, with the funding and,
What kind of terms were you talking about? I think before we said.
Well, initially it was 10, but Judy was uncomfortable with that, so we stretched it out to probably about 14. Again, I haven't run this by Judy yet before it yet, so.
Yeah, as long as we're good with numbers.
Yeah,
yeah, that's the most important part for me. I think it's a good project that's worthwhile and we should not let it go to the wayside. So if it's something that we can do and it's not gonna hinder us down the line, I'm happy to have it.
So if you do that, you guys could, if you,
I mean, I think, we'll do even motions for that, for him to go and to ask. Okay. I would entertain a motion for Mike Davis to approach the Newton County commissioners and council, whoever needs to request the amount of $1 million for the purchase of the land with the terms of at least 14 years or what Judy would see
I would say an acceptable term.
acceptable, what she would see fitting and possible for us to be able to get back to the conditions that were referenced.
I'll make,
I'm just thinking.
I will make that motion.
Okay. You think we'll miss anything out of that? I mean, as long as she thinks it's
Feasible, yep.
And so Chandler made that motion.
Made it.
It was second, Mike Davis, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Perfect. Motion passes.
And then just backtracking for a quick second to your question about redevelopment, I am forwarding you all an email right now that email I mentioned from Dennis.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right.
I have a salary ordinance. You amended salary ordinance, this is for David, who passed his tax.
Thank you.
So, this is already starting, I started it on the 18th.
What was that percent? Just curious out of,
I think it was, no, I don't
Was it
remember. I think it
2%?
was an additional 2%, $9,000 bonus.
okay. I'll make the motion to accept the new salary.
Motion from Chandler,
Second.
second from Mike, in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
And the other thing right now, Chandler reviewed the lease and it's,
Oh, I have it on my computer, I don't have it with me though.
Okay. That is for taking care of the town hall up in the parks. So,
To fertilize. To fertilize the town hall.
yes. So fertilize and weed spray, Doc, how much did you do?
I use the full season fertilizer, and I fertilize one time, and then I spray twice. That was what I went by.
That's for the baseball field.
And here, in here, okay, for town hall.
But get me a bit on first.
You get full season,
No, I use slow release individuals. But it basically be 3 applications.
Right.
Okay. That's all I have.
Mr. Mike Brown.
This is a story about trees. Last summer, I came home July. Big tree was behind the house, my neighbor's house, broke. And, I talked to Chuck Costello, that's his name. And what happened? Storm, lightning, no, just wind knocked it off, big wind. He said, I'm gonna call this guy. So, a few days later, or a week later, see a man out there, walking around with a clipboard, looks at that, and we had a bunch of buses there. At, the new, owner of the Chevy dealer, he's more or less a commercial vehicle dealer. And we had buses, small mini buses that were 2 years. He was pedaling them, we got one. That went the whole year. Weather got bad, waited. So in February, first week of February, I called him stuff. He said, got a broken tree here. I said to my wife, we can't cut the grass. He said, well, you can cut it down. I said, it's not our problem. The tree is in the easement. I said, it's not on my property, it's not on my neighbor's property. Well, we'll send somebody out there. So, the man called him, weather's bad, he was going over. He shows up, whatever he did. Then, about first week of March, a truck with a chipper on the back and a bucket truck, they all pull up in front of the house. And there, and put the orange cones up, trees in the back. And they're standing around. I talked to Chuck, what are you doing? I don't know, I'm walking. So they're there for about an hour. Finally, must have been the boss shows up with a Chevy Blazer, and they talk with him, and they leave, and now they go around the back, and they're in the car dealer's lot. But the truck, chipper, all that, absolutely nothing. For another hour and a half. Oh yeah, they took a couple of branches to pick up the, and then they left. Nothing else. So now we go all the way in to March. My wife says, mowing season is showing up, so let's do something with it. Get the sawdust all on the garage. And her and I worked on it for 2 days. All trees down and everything, bundled it up, dragged it out to the street. Called Town Hall. They come out with the truck a week later, took it all away. As soon as they did that, presto, lost the easement. It's all full of brand new Grand trucks now. Right up to my property now. When I showed this, now, nobody wants to say they own the property. My question is, when those trees finally fall, they're long, tall enough to hit the house or hit my shed. And nobody, or worse yet, if the trees fall, get the power line to it, and that's why it's an easement. And somebody gets killed, who is the one that's going to own up and say, this is where the property is. Now, here's a picture, the pole is where the easement starts. And it's 20 feet to the other side. And we've cleaned out, and that's what we've done. But these trees are old, they need to be taken down, and that's why I'm here. Now, this is what this new deal is. I don't know if you know that easement means that, so someone can reach the utility power poles or what, but he's got everything, all of a sudden, as soon as we clean the property up, he will them up with more bank.
So what is it that you're asking of us, Mike?
Take them trees. That's all. If you could do that, I'm happy. The other is,
But that's not an alleyway, correct?
I'm sorry,
It's not an alleyway.
that's
my knowledge.
what I'd say is another, when we bought that property, there was a fence running along the easement property line, and there was a gate on the street with a lock on it. And where the detail shop was for that, there was a fence there, it was all fenced off.
Yeah.
So at that time, I thought that there's that. And they did. They took I asked them, can we clean up this area and take that fence down? Yes, I hate that fence, take it out. Okay, we've had the agreement that this is an easement to reach the utility line. And we don't own it, or the car dealer is not owning it, but he's loading up on the property now. And if we do have a problem, we have to get somebody to move all these vans. It's always been considered. And if you look down from the street, you will see that there are garages that would be in the alley. Of course, this houses were probably built.
So I don't think it's an alley, Mike. I think you're right. I think there's an easement there, but it sounds to me like you have a civil issue with your neighbor in regards to who needs to take care of what. So I think, and I could be wrong, but at one point the town had noticed that required property owners to maintain these
Dean's
easements.
not showing it as a alleyway or nothing, it's property line.
Yeah.
So there's no town easement.
Right.
Do we have a water and sewer issue?
Yeah, we have easement rights through there, we have sewer just through there.
Just the same as next door with someone else, but I don't think that the town can keep in a position where we trim and maintain those trees for you. But I think if you're saying, like, if you're talking about your neighbor encroaching on potentially your property through your
Well,
vehicles and stuff,
It's not on the property, but there's always been that we mowed that lawn. Either he has done it, or we have, and we kept it clean, and nobody touched it since, now this new dealer is in there since January of 25.
right,
And I can understand when he had a big inventory of vehicles, but if he's got a big inventory of vehicles, and it's not my property, and it's not his, why is he there with that? If he's doing that, then all them vehicles should be plated and they're brand new. So either cut back on your inventory or put them on some property that's not public access.
I just don't think that that's public access though, and I also don't think that the town probably has a position on what to do with those trees. Off the top of my head, does anyone else think differently?
I would have to see it on Beacon to see what.
Ricky had it on
Here you
here.
go. There, that he has on bigger street, probably.
So this is his property right here.
So there is no.
On there,
easement.
what tree? Where are the trees? Are these trees back here?
Yeah, they're actually at 303. They're on the property.
Right here, that's your shed over there, right? Behind your house, the shed?
Yeah, that'd be-
So are the trees back behind your shed?
no, to the southwest of it. They're
So
off my
you're-
right.
okay.
The marker wires are still there. See, the
So-
marker wire on there. They're in the easement.
Okay. I guess what he's on, well, they're trying to explain to you, according to the Beacon, if we had a right of way through there, See how the road shows a boundary there?
Right.
There's no boundary, so therefore the easement, all that's meaning is utilities have the right to access that part of the property to get to their utilities to service them. Up until that property line, you own that, or property owner is responsible for everything up till that line.
Right.
No different than these trees out here in the boulevard area. It's easement, but technically the homeowner is responsible to maintain those and upkeep those, and not the town. So whoever's tree that is in a property that's on the neighbor's property, it would be the neighbor's responsibility to maintain those
It's not
trees.
any property either.
Whose property is it
I'm
on?
trying to find out who owns this property.
Well, somebody does. I think what you're mistaking is what an easement does. And that's not taking away from your property, but it gives rights to utilities, which include water, NIPSCO,
Correct.
to come in and be able to maintain their lines, whether they be underground or in the air.
Correct.
But that's still either your property or neighbor's property. What we, at least I can say, I'm pretty certain by what I looked at, it's not the town's property.
Okay, but if it's not your property, this is what I'm hearing. It's not your property. And my property line is on this side of the utility.
Do you have a survey?
Yeah, this is, you see these lines here?
No, I mean, do you have an
This has
official
been there
survey?
since we started. Right.
Do you have a paper survey, like an actual survey?
Sure, I do.
Gotcha. So that will tell you for sure whose issue it might be.
But I certainly know it's not his property either, because his property line is at the end of his asphalt, where that, he had a fence, where that detail shop is, where that was initially the gas station. There was a fence there, and then to the west of him, at one time was a Mexican restaurant,
Mhm.
pizza,
Yeah.
and then after that, there was a used car dealership. That was all sectioned off. He nor anyone else ever used that easement other than for access, not for parking. And that's what I'm talking about. It's loaded up with,
I would, unless our attorney or anyone else here thinks differently, it sounds like you might actually have yourself a
Well,
slight
and
issue, so
see-
you might want to reach out to an attorney, look into some of it further.
And
I don't think there's anything we can do.
Yeah, because I mean, we've encountered this before with the fence. And someone was asking if they could build their fence in their easement. And because there was the easement behind the property line and property line were like this. There's an easement if someone has to go to it. We said, yes, they can build the fence. The issue is if NIPSCO has to get back there,
Right.
they are responsible to tear the fence down, and anything that's tore up is your responsibility. So if
They
you,
being the landowner.
the landowner's
Right.
personal.
Right.
So basically, you own, if it's property line to property line, you own back there.
we don't, it's not property line.
On Beacon, on the GSI system, it's showing it's property line to property line.
So this is your house, right?
Yes,
Okay, and that's your back property line, and then immediately on the other side of that property line, this is all under the same.
correct. All this is there.
Right, so it seems like you're thinking that there's a gap in between there, that you're questioning who owns, there is no gap. Where the property line is, on one side it's you, on the other side it's the dealer.
That's him.
Yep.
So then, when we cut that tree, it was on his property.
If it was, without being there, I can't see where there are any survey markers or anything
Hey,
like that.
Mike, you gonna be around tomorrow?
Yeah.
So you show me the trees and I can kind of get an idea according to Beacon about whose property it is, maybe help you out.
Yeah.
If you get the right, point in the right direction then, how about that?
I'm happy with that.
Okay.
Sounds good, thank you.
Well, I saw your number, Mike, I'll give you a call in the morning, and see what's going on, okay?
Either that or knock on the door.
Okay,
I'm awake.
all right, I'll swing by and probably sometime in the morning.
Thanks.
Hey, not a problem.
All right. Have a good day. Have a good night.
Thanks.
Privilege of the floor. Old business. So we have, it's written down Christina with the Dance for Joy used with me, so, and she's not here, unless she,
I did that, but she.
and then we'll cross off Wells 3 service, thing that was taken care of under E. Basketball court LED lighting. What's that about?
Ricky, you got a quote?
This has been a while ago, I need to get updated from Jacob.
I
Sorry,
would say, I don't know, Jamie, I have two meetings.
Yeah, I missed the last two, so my apologies, I will get that to you guys in an email. Jacob's pretty quick about it. We can address it in the next meeting.
Awesome. And I see new business application for the assistant pool manager,
Were those to be turned in today?
14th, I believe was the day.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what.
No. Nope, all good.
Do we have any applications?
Yes, yes.
And while we're there and before the adjournment, I was working with Mackenzie. She is either going to be getting into a class in Zionsville or another one that would be at the beginning of May. She's got the dates, the 2-day thing. She hasn't picked which one she's gonna do. She's looking at that other one. I think the location is unknown at this time. We'll be a little bit closer to her, but she is clear that she's gonna get one or the other. She doesn't look to have any issues. She thinks that she'll get through that and then be able to work on certifying whoever we have. At that point, it's not certified, so. Cool. You good? And I'll make sure she knew if she needs anything from us to let us know. Anything else? Motion for adjournment? I'll make the motion from Chandler. Second from Mike, all in favor. Bye.
See ya, thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Would you let
Yes.
Conservancy.
Good. I've been trying to force myself to have one.
Don't get old.
Yeah. Fall right into the front.
I hope I do, I don't know if I can.
I mean, if they want to do that, it's fine, I'm just trying to.
I'm already straight.
Or we can.
This last winter.